All right, everybody, welcome back to the Entrepreneurship Show. We're grateful you're tuning in again. This time, we're going to be talking about reviews, why you need them for your business, and how you should look at them. Ready? Aim, fire. All right, so to start this episode off, we're going to start with the obvious of why you need reviews, and that is to attract people to your business. So when you get good reviews, like 4 and 5 star reviews, and your average on say Google reviews is like a 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, that's going to really bring people into your business, right? Like they're going to see that this is a really good business to invest in, meaning to put their money into buying the service or the product that you provide. I wanted to start out with the good reviews because, like I said before, it's the obvious aspect of reviews. When somebody sees that something is a good thing, they're attracted to it. And reviews, in a different way of looking at it, let's just put it this way: reviews are ways that people can see that their peers, meaning people like them, so like potential clients and customers of the given business. So they see that their peers are either giving good reviews or bad reviews, and that's going to help the potential client or customer make their decision on whether or not they want to buy product that or the service that you're offering. In the article, I go over an experience that I had that you can read in more depth in the article. I highly recommend you do that. But basically, I was looking for the thing that I was looking for, product or service, whatever it was. And I looked at the positive reviews, I looked at the negative reviews, and I also looked at even what the company provided, meaning their copy, the images, the videos that they may have provided to promote their product. And obviously, that part of it, meaning what the company provides, is going to have some bias to it. But the decision really relied mostly on reviews that I saw listed in the review section. And so that played a really big role on my decision process.
Just to add to what you're saying, I'm sure I'm like lots of others. They're looking for signs of the reviews being authentic. So make sure they are authentic, and that that you get lots of reviews so that people can read through them and really get a good feeling for what type of company you are. If you're a great company, most of them are going to be great, and you'll have a few the misunderstandings. But depending on how you approach those reviews, the feedback that you give to your customers, those that are giving the reviews, that can be a positive too.
Yeah, for sure. The quote that comes to my mind while you were saying that is there's safety in numbers. That came to my mind when you said to get a lot of reviews. People tend to go for what's most popular. They go where most everybody is. I think instinctual way of looking at it is that we abide by that saying where there's safety in numbers. So we go where we're safe. So where most people are, that's where we're safe. So the same thing goes with reviews and people wanting to buy from you. If you have a lot of reviews, then people are going to see, hey, those people were safe buying from this company. That is, if you have the majority of good reviews, but they'll see that high number and they'll investigate you further. There's a process that everybody goes through when they're looking at different companies and trying to decide which one to go with, that they first start like, okay, what is it that I need? Is this company providing what I need? Like those obvious things. And then do they present it well? Like I was mentioning before, those things that the business itself provides, such as videos and images and copy that will sell the person on the product. And then people will go even further and see, are there a lot of people that have experienced this service or product? And so then they'll go even further and see how many positive reviews, how many negative reviews. My personal process is to kind of look in the middle, because as you were talking about, Dana, you were talking about authenticity, and I feel like there's more authenticity that you can find in the 2 to 4 star range, where you don't get the people that are raving about you. They're just so excited about your business, or potentially businesses that aren't exactly the most honest are paying people to give reviews. And so that's where the 5 stars usually, well, not usually come from. That can be the case there, is what I'm trying to say. It's something that I kind of live by. I go normally to like the 4-star reviews to see the good, and then the 2 stars that will get rid of mostly the really negative reviews where it's just one person that they had a one-off experience that just was really bad. Maybe in your business it wasn't your day, or whatever it may be. Just some kind of freak accident or something where that person had that bad experience, and so they went on and went off about it. They were super angry, and so they leave a really bad review. So I like to stay away from the 1 stars because of that, so that I can get the people that are more authentic, that are more level-headed, and are able to give an objective review to that I can rely on more. I don't know if this is making much sense. I sure hope it is. But basically, to sum up, I would stay in the middle range, meaning 2 to 4 stars, to keep that authenticity and level-headedness in the reviews, so that you can make a better decision.
Yeah, just to go a little bit further on those 1s and 5s, sometimes you can have customers that just are, I don't know, that there's some people that you can just never please. So those 1 stars, I do read them, but I do give the company the benefit of the doubt. But if I continue to find those trends, those problems in the 2s, 3s, and 4s, then I know that these are legitimate problems with the company. And the same way with the 5s. As I read those, I find out, okay, these are the possibilities of the good that I can find in these companies. And then if I find the same thing in the 2s, 3s, and 4s, that those things do exist, and it's written in a way that looks very authentic, meaning from real customers, then I give a lot of credence to the reviews that I've read and the information that I found in there, and I am able then to make a comfortable, confident decision on purchasing from that company.
Yeah, I really like that, being able to see those trends, those common themes that you're seeing. I like that strategy of seeing what is the good, what is the bad, and if it sticks throughout the other levels of rating. That's awesome. I like that a lot. So yeah, when a person is looking into a business's product or service, they're doing a lot more than just, is this a good product? Is this a good service? They're looking into, is this a good company? Is this someone that I want to do business with, to have a relationship with? Especially with businesses that offer services, like ongoing services, the customer is going to really want to be sure that they're getting into the right relationship with this company. And the same is true for the business as well. You want to make sure you're getting into the right relationship, quote unquote, with the customer, with the client. You don't want to have a problematic client or customer. And so the same, I'm going back and forth here, but for the customer, that is probably the number one thing that they have on their mind if they're going into a relationship with a business. Is this business a good business to work with? How do they treat their customers? How do they handle issues? Am I going to have a good experience? And the reviews from people that have had that experience with that company are what's going to let that person know, really answer their question that was posed earlier, to be brief. And so, yeah, that's another way to really drive home here the importance of reviews. People want to know that they're making the right purchase and they're getting into the right relationship. And so those reviews really help that person to make that decision, that determination.
Really, our reputation is the most important thing that we have. We can do a lot of advertising, but if we don't have a good product or service, if we don't have a good company, if we don't treat people well, we're going to die. Our company is going to die. And so those reviews are important, not only for how customers will see us, but in our ability to be able to grow and improve. The good ones let us know what we're doing well at, what we should keep doing, what we can build on. The bad ones let us know what we're doing poorly at, what we can change, what we can tweak. And it's important that we look at it from a positive attitude and really just think of it as this is my opportunity to grow. This feedback will help me grow as a company. And if we focus on it that way, we'll be successful. And more people will appreciate our company and think of us just like people think of Amazon, and mostly in very positive ways, as far as, they know that they're going to get a good price. It may not be the highest quality, at least from my experience. I know that I can find something that'll do the job and will be at a very fair price.
Yeah, it's definitely important to keep in mind that for the most part, unless you have like a really nasty person that wants to attack you personally, the reviews aren't personal. They, like you were saying, they're tips, like free tips that your customers and clients are giving to you to help you improve your business, to better service those that you're already serving and to better service those people that you're going to service in the future. And
yeah,
so
they really set forth your reputation to everyone else. So you're not just depending on your clientele to those that were either impressed to go out and tell lots of people. You can put it on there, and anybody that comes to the site, even the people that those customers didn't know, now find out about how they felt about your product or service.
Yep, it's definitely a great way for people to find out that they're making the right decision. The way that you react to that is very key. That will also be a very, very good way to tell whether or not that company is a good company. In the story that I referenced earlier about me trying to choose a certain business for their product or service, the one that I didn't go with definitely did not react well to the negative feedback. They blamed all of the issues on the customers. They didn't own up to their mistakes and basically made it seem like they were perfect and the customers were wrong. And that to me was like, wow, if I got into a relationship with that business, meaning if I purchased from them, the possibilities are higher with this business that I'm going to have a bad experience because they just have a bad attitude toward their customers. And that is definitely not the road to success, as you were saying, Dana. That business, I mean, I don't want to, they could change, but the trajectory that they're on, they could very well die as a business. And that is a very sad thing to think about. Hopefully that doesn't happen to that company. But on the flip side, in that same story, the company that I did go with, they had some of the best responses I've ever seen to negative reviews. They went on there and replied to those negative reviews saying like, oh, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Here is our contact. Please contact us. Let us know how we can make this better. Help us know how we can make you happy, and so that you can go away with a good taste in your mouth instead of a bad taste in your mouth. Obviously, they didn't use the same words, but that was just a great attitude to have toward their customers. They actually respected their customers. They saw their customers as basically their life force because the customers are paying them to do what they're doing. And so they treated them, in my mind, they were treating them like kings and queens and helping that customer have a great experience with them. So I ended up going with that business because I knew if I went with them, I was most likely going to have a great experience with them. And with both sides of the coin, like most likely going to have a bad experience or most likely going to have a good experience. I'm re-quoting myself. I put it that way because there are always those times where something bad might happen or something good might happen, depending on which side you're looking at. So I can't say like with anything that we see, the reviews that we see, that we read, that we're guaranteed to have a good experience or we're guaranteed to have a bad experience. That's never the case. But you can get a good idea from reading the reviews and seeing other people's feedback, what the most likely outcome is.
Yeah, how we look at reviews is, in my mind, very critical. If we see it as a very positive thing and treat it as a positive thing, then our feedback will be appropriate and will also sell our product for us. If we see it as a pain in the neck, then we're not going to do very well. We're not going to get lots of reviews. We won't seek after that, so we won't get that many. Of course, larger companies, I'm sure they don't have a problem sometimes getting reviews, but smaller companies, you may need to invite people to go on and review your product or service. So it's really important that we have a great attitude towards reviews and what they can do to sell our company, our product, our service to potential customers.
Yeah, and something that's important there to keep in mind is when you, as a small business, you ask people to leave reviews for your business. You need to be very careful there and make sure that you're not like trying to buy good reviews. That you tell them specifically, please give us an honest review. That is something that I feel is very important to add in there, to leave an honest review, and that way you'll be able to keep that authenticity in your pool of reviews for your business, and you'll be able to make sure people, or I guess help people gain trust in your business because they'll see that authenticity. So yeah, just make sure you're having people leave honest reviews instead of being like, yeah, please leave us an awesome review because we're awesome and we did a great job for you. Make sure they leave honest reviews. In a past episode, we talked a lot about humility. I believe it was actually either the last episode or the one right before that. We talked about humility as an attribute of an entrepreneur, where you own up to your own mistakes and you're able to learn from your mistakes. This very heavily applies to this conversation as well, where we need to take that feedback and be humble, not get offended by it, and see like, okay, this person is saying this thing, and how can I improve that so that people in the future don't say that thing, or that they continue to say that thing, depending on what that thing is. Also, on the flip side, we need to be humble to where, like you were saying, Dana, we need to see the importance of reviews, of that feedback, and know that we can learn and grow from it, and not be the kind of person that's like, oh, well, that customer doesn't know this industry. They haven't been in business like I have, so they don't know what they're talking about. And so I'm just going to ignore them. We should always look at what people are saying and consider, is this something that I want to apply to the business or not? But we shouldn't immediately always ignore those people that we feel like, quote unquote, don't know what they're talking about, because they're your market. They're the people you're trying to serve, and they're the ones that know better than you even how best to serve them. And so you really need to learn to listen to your audience, listen to your target market, and make sure that you're giving them what they need, that you're fulfilling their needs, and that way they'll trust you more, they'll like you more, and they know that you're the go-to business because you're taking care of their needs.
Yeah, one of the great things that negative feedback, and you don't have to get feedback just from reviews. Your company's, talking to customers all the time, and you should be able to get feedback in lots of different ways. But those negative ones can teach you how to better educate your customers so that they know what they can expect from your product. If they expect something that you can't deliver, for instance, in my industry of lawn care, there are no chemicals that turn your lawn from brown to green in one day, and there's no product that will kill weeds in one day. So they need to know a time period and even the process that it goes through. And you can determine from continual feedback what exactly is helpful to your customers to help them know exactly what to expect. So there's reviews, feedback, in my mind, is just critical. It's critical to businesses, to your business. It's critical to your personal life. I try to have the same attitude when my wife ribs me or razzes me, whatever you want to call it, or jokes around, or is upset with that. There's something I can do to improve our relationship. There's something I can do to improve as a person so that life together will be happier and more enjoyable.
Yeah, so that's definitely a great thing to do, to set those expectations and make sure your customer, your client, knows exactly what they're getting into through your website and your copy. And we'll be discussing that a little bit further in our next episode that's upcoming, where we talk about boosting our reviews. So that's a great teaser for the next episode that you guys can look forward to. And so that's a very important thing to keep in mind. Make sure your customers know what they're getting into, and that's what they're doing when they're looking at your reviews. They're trying to get to know what they're getting into, and so you can help that out, help that along. But yeah, like I said, we can talk about that further in greater detail in the next episode. But yeah, just that attitude of, okay, I need feedback if I'm wanting to grow. And in a past episode, we were talking about if you're not moving forward, then your competition is going to overtake you and they're going to win every time. And a good way to progress, a good way to move forward is to be open to feedback and to be humble and make sure you make those changes that are necessary for your business to grow and to thrive. And at the end of the day, that's what you're looking to do, is to serve more people or to better serve those that you serve and help your business thrive. And so it would be a very foolish way of looking at your business and thinking that, oh, you're the professional, you know what you're talking about, you know what you're doing, and just completely ignore that feedback. You'll never progress that way. And taking this full circle here, then your competition is going to come in and they're going to destroy you, basically. So yeah, keep an open mind and keep on looking at those reviews as feedback. Keep a positive attitude and apply that feedback where necessary, and you'll be successful. Reviews are great for businesses so that you can improve yourself as well. They're not just for the benefit of the customer. Let's move on then to the golden rule of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I feel personally, and I know from our pre-discussion that you agree, Dana, on this, that us as business owners, we have an obligation to help other businesses in this aspect, to leave reviews, honest reviews for the companies that we end up rubbing shoulders with, and help those companies to learn and to grow, to know what they can capitalize on and to know what they need to change. And so we need to make sure that we're leaving those reviews for other companies as well, and also doing it in the way that we've been talking about of not when you have a bad experience, to not be super angry and like really rip on the company, but to do it in a good way, an emotionally intelligent way, and say the facts. And the same with positive reviews, and just say the facts and help them learn and grow. We as business owners do have that responsibility, as I mentioned, and so we need to go out there and make sure we're leaving reviews, leaving that feedback, and helping other companies out in that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's very helpful. I think by doing so, we also help maintain a healthy relationship with reviews. We see them for the powerful tool that they are, the powerful feedback that they give us, and I think we keep them in perspective. We keep a good attitude as we go out and give 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-star reviews to other companies that are heartfelt but are not emotionally charged. We can help those companies grow, and it helps us to be thinking about how are our customers seeing us? What can we do to improve? Because we know as we're giving those reviews what that company could have done in order to service us better.
Excellent. Thank you for that. For sure, I feel like some takeaways from this episode is we need reviews for our businesses. We need to look at them as feedback. We need to be humble and take that feedback to learn and to grow. And we also need to do the same for others, meaning leave reviews for others and make sure that they have the opportunity to learn and to grow, and do it in a respectful way. I feel like, as Gandhi said, if there's a change in the world that you would like to see, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but that change needs to begin with you. And so if we're seeing in our personal experience with our company that people need to be more respectful and kind in their negative reviews, then go out there and do the same for others. Be respectful in your negative reviews. Also, if you see that businesses need to handle their side of things better, then do that in your business. So yeah, be the change that you want to see in the world. And I feel like that's a good final invitation for this episode. Be respectful and be that change. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. That brings this episode to a close. Thank you, Dana, so much for joining again. Your point of view, your perspective is definitely appreciated and adds a lot more depth to what I'm writing in the blog. We would love to hear from you. If you would like, you could leave a comment on our blog post for this episode. You can find that at firepreneurship.com/22. Or if you would like to be featured on this podcast, you can send us an email with a voice recording and title that email Podcast Voicemail. We will review it and we may include it in a future episode. We look forward to hearing from you. Our mission at firepreneurship.com is to help people like you achieve FIRE, financial independence, retire early, through entrepreneurship. We offer educational materials like this podcast, but most of all, we offer outsourcing services to help you automate the business you started to bring you financial independence, so you can focus on what you love the most about running your business, or if you want, step away from your autonomous business altogether and retire early. Thank you for listening to this edition of the Firepreneurship Show. To show our appreciation, we've created a page full of helpful resources for you and your business. To access it, visit firepreneurship.com/resources. Again, that's firepreneurship.com/resources. It's time we signed our own Declaration of Financial Independence.